right. PT Ask Dan with Danny Hudak.
All right.
How you doing, Dan? Yeah.
I'm good, thanks.
Excellent. So one of the things that we see a lot, and this goes back for me, I read a book that really changed my approach called The Challenger Sale, which the concept is around challenging your prospects and their thinking and sort of that center point. And you're not trying to knock them so far off kilter that they can't engage in the dialogue, but you're trying to get them to shift their thinking somewhat. And you're not just going to take something they give you that you know is sort of the elephant in the room that if it doesn't get discussed, you're never going to get to where you need to go. But oftentimes we see salespeople not tackling that elephant. It's hard to do. It's hard to figure out how to challenge somebody in the right way because you're not looking to harm them. You're not looking to assault them. You're looking to get them to think differently and deal with what they just put on the table, so to speak. So talk about how to challenge prospects and do it the right way.
This is really tough because, John, it starts with we have to be really comfortable with ourselves. We have to be very confident in who we are and what we do and how we do it. And if we don't have that stuff, then we're going to be very weak on a sales call. And but if we're really strong in ourselves and our beliefs of what we do and how we do it, and we know what works, and we're not desperate for the sale,
yes,
we'll do the pushback. I'll give you an example. I was talking to a president of a company, wanted me to come in and do a half-day workshop to motivate his salespeople, one of those rah type things.
Sure.
And as we were talking, what he really wanted was a shift in their attitude.
Okay.
And he kept coming back to this half-day motivational workshop. And I looked at him and I said, John, his name was John too, I thought you wanted this to work. And he looked at me and goes, what do you mean? I go, who can change an attitude in a half-day workshop? It's not going to work. He said, but that's what's in my budget. I said, well, then I'm your wrong guy because what's going to happen is I'll come in and I'll motivate everybody. They'll do great for a day or two. And then they're going to go back to doing what they do now. And I said, frankly, I would prefer not to take your money for that. And he looked at me and he goes, well, then we're done. And I said, okay. Yeah, we're done. And I started to put my stuff, and he goes, no, I was just testing you. Honestly, he said that.
Wow.
And he goes, I'm curious. Let's talk more about what you think would actually work. Oh, that was an interesting
Opened everything up in the conversation.
But I will tell you that I'm a human being. I want people to like me. And so I felt like I've used this analogy before. I felt like a duck going across the water. Above the water, the duck is just calm, cool, and collected.
Yep.
Below the water, those feet are churning. And as I was talking to him, I'm trying to show calm, cool, collect. And inwardly, I was like, oh, this guy doesn't get it. How do I get it right?
Yeah.
So sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, and you move on.
Yeah, but likely if you hadn't challenged him, you wouldn't have gotten to where the opportunity you have. And to your point, you're better off not engaging and not doing the deal because you know it's not going to give him the lift that he needs.
Totally agree. Imagine if you go to a dentist and the dentist says, you have a really deep cavity. That tooth, it needs to be drilled and filled. And you said, nah, I'm just going to go brush my teeth even harder. Any dentist worth their salt is going to say, that's not going to work.
Right.
So we would expect that type of pushback from a dentist. Why do we not get it from the salesperson?
Yep. All right, everybody. See you.